What's going on, guys? My name is Wade with Tech Daily. So you guys know I've tried out a bunch of different projectors at this point, mainly for my bedroom setup. I've been reluctant to give up my living room TV, but with how good these ultra short throw projectors have gotten now and how affordable they've become, I figured it was finally time. So this is the Rhône 4K laser UST projector. And shout out to the folks at Rhône for sending this out to me to use. If that name sounds familiar, it's because they're the same Rhône that's been around for about 100 years. They're a French company that makes household products and appliances to better your life. That's their slogan, but with their first foray into the world of tech and projectors, I think this is one of the best bang for your buck USD projectors out there. Now, obviously my little living room setup here is still somewhat incomplete. A projector like this works best with a dedicated projector screen, but honestly, if you just wanted to use this on a big white wall without anything else, I think it's still going to look great. The Rhône can project a screen size of between 80 and 150 inches. I've got about a 100-inch screen on my living room wall here, and this to me is one of the first big advantages of a UST or ultra short throw projector compared to like a traditional TV or even one of those old school far away projectors. This thing sits not even 10 inches from my wall, right where any TV would, but you have the flexibility to have a screen size that's far bigger than any TV you could buy at a similar price. You can adjust the screen size on the fly too, to get the perfect fit for the wall, for the room, for whatever. And you don't have to mess with like a ceiling mounted setup or have the projector sit all the way across the room. Ultra short throw projectors like these are pretty much the easiest plug and play setups, and if you wanted anything close to a screen size this big with a TV, you'd probably be paying like 5 or 10 times as much. Obviously, screen size is just one side of the equation. It has to look good too, and I think the Rhône definitely accomplishes that, to say the least. This is a 4K resolution UHD projector, and not 4K supported or 4K input, those deceptive terms you see from cheap Amazon projectors. It actually gives you a 4K equivalent image, 3840 by 2160 resolution and some 8.3 million pixels. That means that even at 100 inches or larger, the image is really sharp. Everything on screen is super crisp, really detailed, and that's critically important when you're dealing with a screen size this big. And it's also really bright, 2000 lumens of max brightness, which doesn't mean much by itself, but you can see that with the lights on, this projector still looks good, but with the lights off in a properly blacked out room, it basically looks about as bright as a TV. The Rhône is an ALPD DLP projector, a laser light source projector, which is how it produces such a bright and sharp image, and it's gonna last you some 25,000 hours, which is basically about a decade of 8-hour per day Netflix binging. Again, this is another benefit of a projector like this versus a traditional old school lamp projector, or even a TV for that matter, just longevity. And from a safety perspective, there's 2 motion sensors built in right next to the laser light source that will automatically dim the projector. So if you or your kid or anyone else gets close to it, you're not gonna get blinded by accidentally staring into it. Now, as far as the content is concerned, the Rhône supports HDR10 and has a contrast ratio of 3000 to 1. It also supports 100% of the Rec. 709 color space, and fancy spec talk aside, that all means that what's shown on screen is going to look colorful and rich, plenty of contrast, and whether it's an ultra bright or super dark scene, you should be able to see just about everything. Most of the out-of-the-box image presets are totally fine to use, but if you want a specific picture profile, you do get some fairly robust adjustment options for brightness, contrast, chroma, hue, definition, and playing around with these can really transform the picture. So if you're picky, you can, I'm sure, find the right look. There's also keystone and autofocus corrections, which are really easy to use in order to get a perfectly straight or totally in focus projection, though I didn't have to do much here since the projector auto detects and autofocuses the image quite well. One other important feature of the Rhône is the MEMC adjustments, or motion estimation, motion compensation. This is a fancy term for motion smoothing. Basically, the projector will sort of fill in frame rates for certain content to ensure you're getting the best viewing experience. For fast-paced content like sports, for example, this is a must-have, and you might have noticed I pulled up a lot of FIFA clips here. Rhône is actually running a huge FIFA World Cup contest over the next couple of months on their Facebook page with tons of prizes. So if you'll be watching the FIFA World Cup this year, get your friends together and join in on that contest, and let me know who you'll be rooting for in Qatar. We're only a few weeks away now from seeing all the action, and I'm no doubt going to be enjoying it on this projector. By the way, on the topic of smooth images, you can actually game on this projector too if you want. There's a bit of a delay, but with a 60 Hz refresh rate and about 50 milliseconds milliseconds of input lag, it's more than playable, and there's some additional gaming enhancements that make it all possible. I'm personally not much of a gamer myself, but it's nice to at least have the option if you want. And I should also mention that the Paris Rhône has plenty of inputs for all your devices. There's 2 HDMI ports, including HDMI ARC, a couple USB ports, audio in and out, a LAN port even, but you actually don't need to use any inputs at all if you don't want to. The projector has practically every app and streaming service you can think of built right in via Android TV. And there's an app store and file management system that allows you to install or sideload anything else you might want. So that's also what makes this a plug-and-play all-in-one setup. The remote that pairs with the projector is also really nice. It's not like some cheap little thing. It's chunky, it's built well, the buttons are big and tactile, and all that's really important since you do use the remote quite a bit. The final element to this being all-in-one, of course, is sound. The Paris Rhône projector does have a built-in speaker, and a really good sounding one at that. It's actually a dual 50-watt speaker setup right up front. It sort of looks almost like a soundbar, and with the built-in speaker alone, you're gonna get really good sounding audio that absolutely fills the room. Just to give you an idea, I usually have it set at like 20 or 25 audio level, and that's plenty loud. There's also practically no fan noise or humming or anything like that, so what you hear is 100% of what you're watching. And here's what it sounds like, just to give you an idea.
Would you believe it? And it's a hat-trick for Cristiano Ronaldo. What a night in Sochi. He's the only Portuguese player to score at 3 different World Cups. It's 1-0 Portugal, and was there ever any doubt?
Dá essa responsabilidade para uma pessoa é porque você confia nela.
For me, the Paris Rhône projector has pretty much everything I'm looking for in a reasonably priced ultra short throw setup. It's an all-in-one, basically plug-and-play projector. It's a true 4K UHD resolution projector too. It's super bright, even in a well-lit room, and price-wise, I don't think I mentioned it yet, but this projector is well under $2,000 right now, which is just crazy when you consider the fact that a 100-inch TV or something even larger could be $5,000 or $10,000. Seriously, so it's one heck of a bang for your buck setup by comparison. And like I said, I'm definitely going to be adding to my living room setup here soon. Gonna grab a nice projector screen to pair with this, maybe some surround sound speakers, but for now, I'm super happy with just the projector alone. So that's the new Paris Rhône 4K projector. What do you guys think? What else should I add to the living room setup now? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, of course. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video though. Be sure to follow Tech Daily on Twitter and subscribe to the Tech Daily YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later.